Chief Justice to please take the dais. Justice Bakhru to please take the dais. I request Justice Singh to please take the dais. I request Justice Dhcba to please take the dais. I request our President to please take the dais, sir. Honorable Mr. Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, Chief Justice High Court of Delhi. Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu, Chief Justice Designate High Court of Karnataka. Honorable Mr. Justice Pratibha Singh. Honorable Mr. Justice Naveen Chawla. Companion Honorable Judges of this Court. Family members of Justice Bakhru, Ma'am Ms. Pallavi Bakhru, Mr. Anirudh Bakhru, Ms. Anshula Bakhru, Ms. Vasundhara Bakhru and Mr. Samarth Luthra advocates, Mr. Rajesh Mishra, Member Bar Council of Delhi, senior advocates, senior members of the bar and fellow colleagues. Good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of the Executive Committee of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, I welcome you all to today's function to bid farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu Bakhru on his Lordship's elevation as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Karnataka. To welcome the dignitaries on the dais, may I first request Ms. Premlita Bansal, Senior Advocate, Designate Senior Member Executive, to please welcome Honorable Chief Justice, Delhi High Court, and present the plant to your Lordship. Please present the plant to the Honorable Chief Justice and welcome the Honorable Chief Justice. Now I request our President, Mr. N. Hariharan, to please welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu Bakhru and please present the plant to him. I now request Ms. Kajal Chandra, Member Executive 25 is standing, to please welcome Honorable Ms. Justice Pratibha Singh and please present the plant. I now request Kanika Singh, Treasurer, to please welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Naveen Chawla and present the plant to your Lordship. I now request Mr. Lakshay Kaushik, Member Executive, to please welcome the learned ASD, Mr. Ketan Sharma, and please present him with the plant. Mr. Lakshay Kaushik. Request our Lady Member Ms. Chandrika Gupta and Lady Member Ms. Vidhi Gupta to please present a bouquet to the family members of Justice Bakhru, Ma'am Ms. Pallavi Bakhru, Your Lordship, Justice Vibhu Bakhru has had a remarkable professional journey grounded in both commerce and law. After completing BCom Honours from Delhi University in the year 1987 and qualifying as a Chartered Accountant in the year 1989, Your Lordship received a degree in Bachelor of Law in the year 1990. Your Lordship built a distinguished legal career practicing before the Supreme Court, the Delhi High Court, the Company Law Board and various tribunals. In July 2011, Your Lordship was designated as a Senior Advocate by the High Court of Delhi. Thereafter, in the year 2013, Your Lordship was appointed as an additional judge, and in the year 2015 as a permanent judge of the High Court of Delhi. After having served as a judge of this court for more than 11 years, Your Lordship was appointed as the Acting Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi with effect from 5th of December 2024 to 21st of January 2025. On 26th of May 2025, the Honorable Supreme Court recommended the elevation of Your Lordship as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Karnataka, and now Your Lordship is scheduled to take oath as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Karnataka this Saturday, that is on 19th of July 2025. It is a matter of immense pride for the Delhi High Court that one of our distinguished judges has been elevated as the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court. Although it will be a great loss to this court while Justice Bakhru is leaving for another innings, but we are hoping and wishing to soon welcome him back to Delhi as a judge of the Apex Court. We congratulate Justice Bakhru for his elevation and wish him all the very best. I now request the Honorable Chief Justice to please present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu Bakhru on his elevation. I now request the President of Bar, Mr. N. Hariharan, to please present a plaque of honor on behalf of the Dhcba to Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu Bakhru. I request the President to please present a shawl also to Justice Bakhru. I now request Member Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Rajesh Mishra, who is present here. Thank you. I now request our President, Mr. N. Hariharan, to please address us on this occasion.
Honorable Chief Justice Dhcba, Justice Vibhu Bakhru, Honorable Justice Vibhu Bakhru, Honorable Justice Dhcba, Honorable Justice my learned friend and erudite colleague and the Additional Solicitor General, whom you will very soon hear more from, my Secretary of the Bar Association, learned senior advocates, members of the bar, friends, all other distinguished High Court judges. Sorry, my sequence may go this way, that way, but I will try not to miss any one of you. Pardon me if I am a man who doesn't follow protocol. I am known for that. Justice Vibhu Bakhru and me go back to a very long time. I, in fact, antedate him in this profession by 3 odd years, or 4 years, in fact. What came to him very easily over a period of time took me quite a bit of struggle. I always wonder, because he was a man of numbers, and I was scared of numbers. So here is a man who manages to finish his chartered accountancy by the time he enters into the profession. He enters into the study of this profession, study of law. If my memory serves me right, immediately after his BCom, when he was doing his articleship, in his first year or second year of law, he had already become a chartered accountant. So he is a man who came into this profession out of choice. He preferred to come here out of choice. Now if you draw a parallel, people like me had no option. I was a backbencher right through. I had no course to go but to do law. I was pushed against a wall after having finished law, so I had to take to the profession in a different way. As far as Justice Vibhu is concerned, today there was a little bit of confusion in the mind of the bar. Looking at his immense popularity that you can see, where we have not only a crowded audience here, we have all the balconies full and probably spilling over. This wouldn't have been possible in the canteen. There was yet another reason, because Vibhu had a very special place in his heart for this central hall. I am told that when he was a child, he used to visit this place and it was being constructed. And this spiral, which you see, inspired him. He used to cycle up this spiral and come down this spiral. So this spiral has been probably very intimate to his heart. So therefore we decided that we will do it here, because he decided to walk on the spiral and slowly reach on the top of his court. And he will continue to climb this double helix and reach somewhere, probably the Supreme Court of India, very soon. That is the fervent wish of this bar. Of the little, because the formal speeches we will reserve for all of you when the full court starts. We'll try and do something different here. Try and visit Vibhu Bakhru, the man, and my friend. There were two tables out there, round tables, which during renovation, those round tables exited. There was a demand that they should be restored. So that is one of the things which we did. We restored those round tables. So Vibhu used to occupy the second round table on the other end, with many of his colleagues sitting here. And that table has produced number of judges. I never got entry there. So probably even I would have on one of the benches someday, but they decided not to let me in. So I was always an interloper. I would force myself on them, and they were gracious enough to let me have lunch once in a while with them. Adjoining to the table which Vibhu used to occupy was also another table which also produced judges, but with lesser frequency. The first table. And there was an oblong table in between which had lots and lots of colleagues manning that, which now probably is the prima donna table, where maximum judges come from there now. So there has been a shift, a paradigm shift, if you can say, with the passage of time. Amongst the number of other colleagues who are there in the table today, you will find quite a few of them. Arun Verma is there, Kirti Uppal is there. Some of the judges have retired. Justice Shankar was from there, whom I can recollect. Justice Mishra was from there. So that table has a very long and impressive list. Justice Siddharth Mridul was from that table. So you can very well see why I was in there. So having said that, Vibhu in that table used to be mostly the silent one. He would silently observe and watch people come and go, speak a lot, and he would always contemplate why this man keeps so silent. Till we realized when he came on the bench he was more into listening and then expressing his mind. So he is one of those judges, those precious judges whom we have, whom I from my end consider to be a Zen master. Because he hears, as in Zen Buddhism they say, you need to practice to hear the sound of one hand clapping. So he hears that sound of one hand clapping. And he's a difficult judge to negotiate with. In fact, I recollect one of the incidents which happened with my clerk, because my clerk knew that he's a friend of mine. When he came to the criminal side, number of matters of mine used to get listed before him. I would appear. And a tussle would go on. And invariably I would come out with a dismissal, with no relief. So one day my clerk quipped, कि सर ये आपके दोस्त हैं ना? मैंने कहा हाँ यार मेरा दोस्त है. तो लगता तो नहीं है. मैं कहा क्यों भाई लगता क्यों नहीं है? कहते आपके तो सारे मैटर डिसमिस होते हैं. So you see, these are different angles by which people measure judges, but that is a great measure of him, that he was never influenced by the fact that many of his friends from the very table from which he belonged appeared before him, but no quarter was given. No quarter was given where it was not deserved. People did get quarters where it was deserved. So that is something which speaks volumes about him. The other thing that comes to my mind, I had a talk with Vasundhara the other day, because that's Vibhu's daughter. I asked her that what are the other interests which Vibhu has, and interestingly I got to know that Vibhu is a man of great interests. He loves nature, and I believe that on his wish list is to see the snow leopard. Well, Vibhu, I don't know whether you will get to see the snow leopard now in these days, but then there's a great film which has been made by the Vedis on the snow leopard, which won the Golden Globe, which I had the instance of knowing the Bedis and seeing their work is something which you will not regret. I will recommend that very highly to you. It is called From the Shadows. Besides that, Vibhu now travels from the capital of our country to what I call as Kempagowda city. That city was founded by Kempagowda. And it is very near to my native land. So that makes it more special. So someday from Kerala I can just, try and look upon him. When I am there on a visit, I am sure he will entertain me. I am already trying to make that inroad. But yes, so as far as wildlife is concerned, we may have not seen the snow leopard as yet. But then Karnataka abounds in wildlife. You've got the bigger cat there, you've got the tiger there, you've got the Bandipur there, you've got the Western Ghats there. I also got to know that he's into hiking and activities of that sort. He used to basically go on a hike in school when his parents were abroad. That's what Vasundhara told me. And those were days when there were no cell phones, there was no communication, and Vibhu would be off on his own for a month or so with his parents, living their lives in anxiety that where has this single son of theirs vanished. That apart, I also got to know a very interesting trait because once in a while I have been to his chambers when he has called me and I found some interesting paintings there. That mystery got revealed yesterday when Vasundhara told me that on one of the occasions in a summer, Vibhu decided to teach himself how to paint. And all those paintings which we see in his chambers today are from his hand. So who better than him to give a pen portrait of himself? He has been, as was extolled by my secretary, a great judge, a loss to our High Court definitely. But then we'll see him soon back in the city in a different capacity is our fervent wish. Wishing you all the best, Vibhu, with all that you do in life. Thank you so much. I end with a small, there's a poet king from Lucknow, whom I am very fond of, Dhcba. A film long back by the name of Street Fighter, sometime in 1930s, popularized a number written by him in Dark Bhairavi. Babul Mora Naihar Chuto Jaye. I am sure Vibhu will be having those feelings when he leaves us and goes and explores his pastures there. I've got a bad voice so I can't sing. But yes, I definitely wanted to refer to Dhcba. Thank you, Vibhu. Hoping to see you back here soon. This place is always open for you. This is your place. You have a special place in all our hearts. The emotions are making me tongue-tied, and I am standing in the way between lunch, tea, and whatnot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request the Honorable Chief Justice to please share his thoughts on this occasion.
Brother Justice Bakhru, my other esteemed colleagues, senior lawyers, President of the Bar, Mr. Chetan Sharma, the ASG, other lawyers and all present here. First of all, of course, I must congratulate not only Justice Bakhru, his family members, but the entire bar present here. That the bar is sending its emissary to Karnataka. Of course, one of the finest judges I have come across in my life, professional life as a lawyer and also as a judge. Of course, the formal speech I would reserve for the formal function. But taking some clues from what Hariharan said, yes, silence speaks. But to hear that silence, one has to develop a kind of a special listening ability. I hope Vibhu, I have been able to develop that capacity to hear your silences. All my good wishes, your future career. It is said that it's going to be lost to Delhi and again for Karnataka. But I wish, and everybody present here must wish, perhaps they wish also, that it's going to be soon again to Delhi again, of course in a different capacity. I must also remind the members of the bar, my colleagues here, Mr. Hariharan also. Of course, in a formal sense, it is said, yes, on such occasions, Babul Naihar Mora Chotu Chuto hi jaye. But I must tell you कि Naihar कभी छूटता नहीं. He will never leave us. We will never leave him. With these words, I may again congratulate him and wish all my good wishes. And want to see Vibhu here again in a different role. That's all I can wish you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request Honorable Ms. Justice Pratima M. Singh to please say a few words on this occasion.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Respected Chief, Justice Naveen Chawla, Mr. Hariharan, the President, along with all his executive, Mr. Chetan Sharma, the special man on the special day, Vibhu Bakhru, with Pallavi, Anirudh, Anshula, Vasu, Samarth, Devrat and Arundhati, whom we cannot forget today. One always wonders what happens when one of our brother judges leaves us. For the last 5-6 months at least, I've been sharing the same corridor with Vibhu, and we walk for lunch together every day. And we are going to miss those moments, Vibhu. I've known Vibhu for the last more than 30 years as a person in this bar. And as Hari said, he's one of the most silent lawyers, a very serious lawyer, a very diligent senior advocate, and a superb judge, to say the least. His going to Bangalore as Chief Justice is very, very special for me, because this is my Sasural and that is my Mecca. So it's literally like a brother judge going from my Sasural to the Mecca. And it's a special occasion as the head of the judiciary to head a place where I was born, I was educated. So Vibhu, all the very best in all your endeavors. And I want to add one thing. I always wonder how judges, as judges, we balance our families and our work and so much administrative work, judicial work. But I must say, with the help of Pallavi, Vibhu is a proud grandfather and one of the youngest grandfathers amongst all of us. I don't think any one of us is even a grandfather still. So he's indeed a special man for a lot of people. Wishing the Bakhru and the Luthra families all the very best. And Vibhu, all the very best. Bangalore Nalli meet Madana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Naveen Chawla to please say a few words.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Vibhu Bakhru, the man of the hour, Honorable Ms. Justice Pratima M. Singh, my brother and sister judges, Mr. Chetan Sharma, the learned ASG, Mr. Hariharan, Mr. Pawar, the learned President and the Secretary of the Bar, the entire Bar Association and the executive members, my dear friends, every farewell is actually a moment of joy and a little sorrow. This is also one of those. First I'll narrate why it is sorrow. Sorrow is because we are going to miss one of the most brilliant judges of our court, probably ever. Only about 2 or 3 days back, I was telling him also, I was in a kind of a debate with one of my friends, because I was trying to tell him that and convince him that Justice Bakhru is probably one of the most brilliant judges this country has had in the arbitration law. And he said, no, sorry Naveen, you are wrong. He is probably one of the most brilliant judges in the income tax law. And I think we fought the whole day but couldn't reach a consensus. But I can tell you, I still remain on my conviction. I think the judgments that he has written on the arbitration law will be followed in times to come, because they are just brilliant. They are out of the box. Mr. Hariharan said that Vibhu is also a man of numbers. And that is true even till today, though he shifted and left CA and became a judge, first a lawyer and then a judge. But he's still a man of numbers. I still remember that when I first time sat single, I got as a single judge, I got the arbitration roster. I was very thrilled, and within 2 days he actually killed my thrill. He said, Naveen, this is a roster where you must beat the filing, and I'm going to check every month on this that you are beating your filing or not. And he, believe me, he did. He kept checking with me, am I beating my filing or not? Well, I don't know whether I succeeded or not, but that's the number man he is. Mr. Hariharan also actually told us about some of his interests. I don't know where he gets time for his interests now. Whenever I have seen him, even on a Sunday, he'll be in court. I would be told that on a Sunday also he is sitting in court and doing some judgment. In fact, the man is such that when his name was recommended by the Supreme Court in May, he tried to clear all his pending judgments. And when it did not come till the reopening in July, he reserved, I think, 2 judgments on the very first day. And we are telling him, why are you reserving? It's going to come any day. Well, that's not the end of it. On Saturday, I think it was almost known that the notification is going to come up on Monday. But on Monday at lunchtime when we meet him, he says, I have reserved 2 more today. When are you going? 7, sir? 7, I stand corrected. 7 judgments on that day. So this is the man, he is a man of numbers. He is a man who has, I think, no other passion but work. Right? Yes. And in fact, I think even the Supreme Court recognized it, and it said that if we are going to send one of this person to Karnataka, we need 6 to replace it. Now coming to the joy. The joy is that he is now going to take up the position as the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court. This is only a stepping stone to come back here, just very near to this building on Bhagwan Das Road, very quickly, and then be there watching over all of us and telling us again, not numbers but other things. Well, wish you all the very best, Vibhu, and have a safe journey.
Thank you very much, sir. And I request the learned ASG, Mr. Tejas Sharma, to please say a few words.
Namaskar to all of you. When arguments are addressed, the plank is the lowest common denominator, and judges and lawyers always start with the admitted facts are so and so, so and so, so and so. So admittedly, from the side of the President, from Justice Pratibha Singh, from the Chief Justice and from Justice Chawla, admittedly, the words used, the expressions used for Justice Bakhru were superb, outstanding and brilliant. And when Justice Chawla referred to him as one of the most brilliant judges in India, I was sitting with Justice Pratibha Singh. There was a huge pour of rain that came. And if the cosmos speaks a language, that was an approbation by nature that yes, sir, you are one of the most outstanding judges of India. I normally think of him, I mean, you people must have watched tennis. So there was a legend. The name was John Ball. Punjabis pronounce him as Bajorn, but actually it is John Ball. John Ball. Even there's a slight of Punjabi here also. Natural is natural. So John Ball had a pulse rate of 48. And he was absolutely clinical on the tennis court. Vibhu Bakhru, perhaps, and Pallavi would vouch for this, what is the pulse rate, is a man with zero emotion, with no feelings, clinical. He would cut through the chase and he would deliver an absolutely immaculate judgment in law and on facts. And who was appearing and who is not appearing hardly matters to us. That is the John Bog for you. The one expression that Justice Bakhru I reserve for you, you're almost quote unquote unflappable. You're unflappable. Nothing seems to move him. Nothing seems to wear him. He's that neutral person receiving everything, but then when he speaks through his judgments or when he silences a man, I've never seen him say, "All right, Mr. Counsel, that's enough." He hasn't said that. There's a wry smile on his face. Senior lawyers would vouch for it. There's a wry smile. And I don't think so that lawyers react to that. They know this is the time, let's stop. Or if somebody propounds a proposition, many of us did, and wrongly so, the maximum that it would get to was, Mr. So-and-so, are you really serious? So that was the way Justice Bakhru conducted his court. He's never raised his voice. The decibel level perhaps has been almost around 36 or 42. And when we talk of silence, when we talk of a very quiet judge, when we talk of a very discerning judge, there is a small quote perhaps which is apposite here. There's a lot of rain outside, so you'll have to suffer me in any case. The quieter you become, the more you hear. Justice Bakhru, you have been, I can't call you a silent killer. I can't call you a silent killer, but yes, assassin you were. Assassin you were. You could have a maze of about 20 volumes or 25 volumes, and a lawyer says, "My lord, volume number 6, page number 538. He would say, "Come to volume number 16, see page number 243 on the third line, what do you have to say for that?" And that's it. So this is the man who is unrelenting in his pursuit for excellence. This is the man who is so steady and balanced that it is not an exaggeration to call him a judge's judge. That you are. And yes, Chawla Sahab had the loudest applause reverberating for him and Justice Bakhru when he said, if one of the judges of the likes of Justice Bakhru is going, we really require 6 of them to be a substitute. And this speaks volumes in a manner of speaking for the depth, for the gravity, for the erudition, for the scholarship, for the study, for the hard work, for the painstaking effort, and for the balance that Justice Vibhu Bakhru brought. And my friend Hariharan Sahab, who is the only man who has called me erudite, when he referred to these spiral, I actually thought that I would speak on this. But the man here has actually cycled these. So when his house was nearby, Pandara Road, am I right, sir? I was not spying. Kindly see the kind of emotion that the man is undergoing now. He has grown, lived, excelled, and triumphed with this journey of this spiral, denoting the ramparts of this court. For the last 30-35 years, we've seen you as one of the top lawyers on the commercial side. One of the top lawyers, and he had the best of briefs. And he never raised his voice even as a lawyer. He never shouted down anybody. He was just what I called a silent assassin. So having said that, Pallavi ma'am, congratulations to you. Vasundhara, congratulations to you. Anirudh, who disobeyed me, I asked him to please sit in front, but he chose to stand. So be it. So all of you, we must all join together in wishing not only congratulations to Justice Bakhru, but everybody's echoed the fact that the Supreme Court really deserves a man of his caliber now, knows anytime sooner. With these words, once again, congratulations to the bar, to all of you, and please enjoy the rain, get wet, so that when you come into court number 1 for the formal speeches, you are all drenched with gratitude to Justice Bakhru for having been a model judge of this court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now I invite the man of the hour, Honorable Mr. Justice Vibhu Bakhru, to please address us on his leaving this court. And I will request for a standing ovation from all members present here.
Justice Upadhyay, Chief Justice of our Court, Brother Ryan Singh, Sister Judge, Naveen Chawla, Mr. Hariharan, other ASG, Chetan Sharma, all the senior advocates, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly an overwhelming moment for me today to think that to have worked in a court for 36 years and then be permanently exiled from it is something that one was really not prepared ever. But it is what it is. As far as public speaking is concerned, I'm really not a great one for that. I follow the old school that judges must write what they have to say. But it's customary that on the last day, you do address something which is more meaningful, and especially for the younger generation. And I thought about it, and there's only one thing that I thought I'd like to say. Now, over the years, I have heard several youngsters who've come and said, we are a first generation lawyer. And it's said it's such a great disadvantage, how will you overcome? We are just a first generation lawyer. Well, I'm a first generation lawyer. Was a first generation lawyer. I come from a family of doctors, engineers, and there's nobody in my family was a lawyer when I decided to do so. The only one lawyer that we have is now, of course, is my senior and a greater lawyer, was my mother's first cousin, who was 4 years in the profession. But let's just analyze it. Why is being a profession lawyer considered to be such a great disadvantage? Well, there are two things to it. One, if you have the same family and you have a mentor in your own house, he'll introduce you to some work. But then if you don't learn and if you don't capitalize on it, it's just, that advantage is just illusory because it will fade away. No client and nobody briefs anybody who doesn't know what they're doing. What's the second most important thing? The second most important thing is that you will have somebody who will teach you. Now here lies the rub. In this profession, there is nobody to teach you. When you walk into this court, there is no teachers. And this, I think, all young lawyers must recognize that it is not the teacher that matters, it's the learner who you are. If you look around you, you have this lobby, you have the canteen, you have every courtroom. In every space of this court, there is an opportunity to learn. In my view, this is a profession for Eklavya. He learned when he was not taught. This is what lawyers, I think, must be. This is where, and if you look at it this way, being a first generation lawyer is not a disadvantage at all. Life always presents opportunities. You won't know it when it comes across and knocks on your door. But for all lawyers, I'm sure at some point of time there'll be some opportunity that will knock. I'll give you an example of mine. It's a real example. I had no work. So I was told that if you don't go on a holiday and you stay in vacations, probably somebody may just give you some work. So it was some summer vacation, and I was sitting in the office of my senior. Of course, he was on a holiday abroad. And came this gentleman. He said, there are senior lawyers who are coming. I wanted to brief Mr. Salve. So he's not there. So he said, well, there's some senior lawyers who are, then I'll have to get some senior lawyers from Bombay to argue this matter in company law board. He said, I'm not familiar with it, then would you just be there? I said, yes, I'll be there. Nothing better to do. So I went to company law board. There was a senior advocate from Bombay. There was this gentleman from Delhi, and there was another solicitor from Bombay that accompanied the senior advocate. And they went in. And it was a very interesting question. It was about a travel agency which had sold tickets over 1 crore. It had earned only 10 lakh rupees or something like that, but it had sold tickets over 1 crore. And in company law, there was a provision that if your turnover exceeds 1 crore, you are a deemed public limited company. So the owner's brother had sued him by saying he has not followed so many requirements that a public limited company requires to follow. He has treated it as a private company, and this would be a reason to appoint government directors and take the company away from him. So it was very important. He would lose the company if he lost the matter. So the matters went on. I still remember the definition of turnover. It was gross receipts for goods, gross payments for goods or for services rendered. I mean, over a period, everything was going elsewhere. There was lunch break. So we all sat around, and the senior would come from Bombay, told the client, you've got a hopeless case. Nobody can succeed there. Your numbers are here. You have received over 10 crores in your tickets. Where is the question of you've not followed this, you've not followed exactly what the other counsel was saying. Anyway, I kept looking at the definition. Then I told him, look, it's gross receipts on account of services rendered. What have you received on account of services? Only your commission, so please calculate the commission. Oh, it came like a bolt to that advocate. And of course, he argued that, and the matter was adjourned. After that, the gentleman never got the senior advocate here from home. I got a chance to argue that matter. That one matter I got somebody referred more. And it became, the only point that I'm telling you about it is that all you have to do is at some point of time just apply your mind. For all you know, things just work out. And it certainly worked out for me. Second thing that I keep hearing about persons who are doing CLAT, students who are doing CLAT and doing, I want to get to NLUD and how much can I do? Can I go to coaching classes? Can I do this? I mean, it's a whole lot of tension. I mean, it's not really warranted. It's never what your college gives you, it's what you give to this profession that matters. I did my graduation from School of Correspondence because in the first year of my BCom honors, I was doing my CA as an article. I was told that your attendance is so bad that you please give an undertaking, you will go to School of Correspondence. I did my law from evening college, and I really was not handicapped on that count. So anybody who feels that they are not from NLUD or NLUI or National Law Universities and they come from obscure colleges, that's really not a disadvantage. Last thing that I would, just don't want to summarize, but one thing that stuck with me when Shaitan said that you were silent and you didn't raise your voices on the judges. I remember my senior telling me this, and I'm sharing this with you. He said, as lawyers, you are sellers of ideas. The only point is there's only one buyer, and that's the judge. You tell me a salesman who has sold a car or has sold a good by shouting at his customer. Well, that's it. So if you want to sell your ideas, well, that's it. Now, as far as I must quick about this Bjorn Borg having a very constant pulse rate. I have a woman who made it race. Thank you.
A big round of applause for Justice Vibhu. Thank you so much, sir. We wish you a splendid tenure ahead. Now I request Mr. Baljit Singh Bhir, please give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I sincerely thank Honorable the Chief Justice Dhcba, Honorable Justice Dhcba and Sen, Honorable Justice Naveen Chawla, Shri Chetan Sharma, Honored Additional Solicitor General of India, our President, Mr. N. Harihar, and all companion judges, our senior colleagues and my other colleagues at the bar who have spared their time to join this occasion. The popularity of Justice Bakhru can be very well seen from the number of people who have gathered here. I, on behalf of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, would congratulate Justice Bakhru on his elevation as the Honorable Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court. I would once again request you all, please, to stand up and give a standing ovation to Justice Bakhru. Thank you very much. I now request all of you to please join us for the chart which is available there. Thank you so very much.